Atlus has finally announced the global release for Persona 5 The Phantom X. Yesterday they posted this on Twitter. It says, "Think you dropped this," with the owl emoji. And right here it says, "Retake your desire." And it clearly shows Wonder, which I believe he's the protagonist for Persona 5X. A lot of people are misinterpreting it as Persona 6. Even Discord themselves commented saying 6? That game is never coming out, by the way. Now, if you don't know what Persona 5X, I'm gonna just briefly explain this to you. It is a gacha game that has been out for a while, and I believe just China, Taiwan, and Korea. It is being developed by Black Wings Game, which is a subsidiary of a Perfect World Games, alongside Atlus. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Tenacity YVN on Twitter. They provided all of the information regarding Persona 5X as they've been playing it. I haven't personally played it. I have seen some gameplay, but I'm trying to wait until the global release. However, all the information that you need to know, Tenacity here has put it here on a Twitter thread. So Persona 5X has a different timeline from Persona 5 Royal. It seems like it's following the original timeline, and at some point it breaks off. I'm not sure if it's canon though. It could be a thing where it is canon, but it's just part of a different timeline. Kind of like how some SMT games are. Like, they are canon in some sense, but they have different timelines depending on what ending you get. Since it is a gacha game, the way that it works is that you roll like different characters and different weapons. However, none of the confidants or the characters are locked behind the gacha itself. Now, instead of confidants, they have this thing called synergy. It could just be a translation thing, and on the English global release, it will be called confidants. Though the confidant system here, or synergy, works the same way as regular Persona. You just hang out with them, and they all have 20 ranks. I'm not sure if it's easy to rank them up or hard. There's also a lot of characters, which one thing that I've noticed that there is no arcanas. That's probably because there is a lot of characters. Now, because there's a lot of characters and there's a lot of ranks, you will have to do way more hangouts than an average Persona game. However, there is no time limit, so you don't really have to worry about finishing the game. Obviously, in Persona games, you have to get through the confidants rather quickly because the game ends at some point, and then you have other activities to do. Also, the characters here are not referred to as Phantom Thieves. I think they're called idols, more specifically Kaidos, which is a combination of Phantom Thief plus idol. Though in the translation, I believe that they would just be called Phantom Idols. I'm not really sure. Also, the characters don't use regular personas. I think they're called Persona Duos. At least that's what I'm reading here from Tenacity. So the current release version is on Arc 4 and the 5th Palace. It's possible that the global release version will not be caught up to the current version. There's also another post that I saw that I bookmarked and I just can't seem to find it anymore, and it more or less said that the release window was around summer of this year. Now, the way the calendar system works is that every single day you get 5 energy points. Also real life days, not just like video game days, which you can do to do activities just like you could in the regular Persona 5. There's also items that give extra energy points. Also, say hi to Kitty. I don't know if you can see her. This is Kitty right here. I have real life Morgana in my house. I also watched a video by a guy named Adachi. I didn't know Adachi had a YouTube channel, but the video is titled "Wait for Global Release, or is Persona 5 The Phantom X worth playing today?" Because you could play it and have like some kind of translator, though it was pretty wacky at times from what I've seen. Now, since Adachi is playing Persona 5X, this guy here is saying that the story is pretty good, so that's making me kind of excited. This sounds kind of weird. It's making me kind of excited. So it's making me even more hyped for the game itself. Also, the game has 2 openings and they look pretty good. I do highly recommend watching those openings. They're pretty good. In fact, in my ranking every Persona opening, I ranked one of them in S tier. So that's how you know. It's pretty good. Now, when it comes to the whole meta, Tenacity themselves says, "I personally think this game's meta is fairly healthy because most characters have a specific niche that they fit into, and there often aren't many overlaps. Most standard characters are also very powerful and are staples in current top tier teams." So far, everything that I've seen from people that have actually played Persona 5X, they're saying that it's pretty good. Again, that makes me even more hype. Also, more recently, they did a collab with Persona 3 Reload, which if you look at the animation for that, it looks pretty good. So they're clearly putting a lot of time into this game because it's a gacha game. It's probably going to make them a lot of money. I was kind of scared because it's mostly being developed by an outside company besides Atlus. So obviously, you know, when games do spin-offs developed by other companies, they tend to not do well. For example, the GTA definitive editions of San Andreas and 3, how it was developed by another company and it ended up using mobile ports. It was a whole ordeal. But no, based on everything that I've seen, it looks pretty good. Also, one thing to keep in mind, this game was mostly developed with mobile in mind. I think it would only be available for mobile and PC. I'm not sure about console releases. It may not look as good as Persona 3 Reload, but again, so far based on everything that I've seen, it looks pretty good. So that's pretty much all that you really need to know about Persona 5X. I'm honestly excited for this game. Atlus still hasn't revealed the release date, so we don't know if it's going to come out this year year or whenever. But yeah, I might even play it live on Twitch, and if you want to watch that, is the very first link in the description. And let me know, are you excited for the game? I mean, I think it looks fine. I even like Wonder's persona, which I'm not gonna show for those that don't want to be spoiled. But honestly, yeah, this game looks pretty good so far, you know, for a mobile game, a gacha game. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Subscribing really helps me out because I'm a small channel. I wish I could provide more information, but I personally haven't played the game, and I do want to wait for the global release. But this is all that you really needed to know going into the game. With that being said, have a fantastic day.